Junkyard Rat, welcome today's guest to the zombie apocalypse is Coco Perez. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, my dude. How you doing?
Pretty good. So what do you think about this area?
This area is pretty dope. My first podcast in a while.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, podcasts are like the new thing. I think everybody needs one and stuff.
That's pretty dope, my dude.
So you've been doing comedy 3 months now?
Yes, I have been doing comedy for 3 months, and so far my performance were great. I love the people, and I love the stage, and I love to crack some jokes here and there to make people joy and all that stuff. That's what I do. It's make them laugh and bring them joy.
Yeah. Did you take a class or you just
No, I'm just natural like that because my dad, he's actually like a local clown and all that stuff. He's the kind of guy that likes to crack jokes here and there when it comes to friends and family. So I take his so I got his comedy genes from him.
um
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I don't know, like you have an older sibling or
No, I'm actually the oldest.
you're the oldest one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, most comedians are like the youngest one in their family.
Well, I'm actually the oldest of three siblings. I have one full brother and two half sisters.
So what do you think about the comedy scene out here?
The comedy scene is actually pretty cool. Like for one, you get to see people smile, and two, when you hear that laughter, it's like a rush and adrenaline. It's like you want more and more and more, and just keep on doing it.
Yeah. Do you write jokes every day and
Yes, every day with my life story and all that stuff. You see, I turn something that is negative into something positive. So so that way people can actually relate to my stories, like what I've been through and all that stuff.
oh yeah. Yeah, I like think of things so instead of like writing it down, I think of things like to talk about. And the weird thing is that I saw some special on King Tut. You know King Tut?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, from Egypt. And I guess that there was some fungus in King Tut. He was toxic. There was no curse of people who died. They just got fungus and the King Tut fungus. So I think what happened is that they weren't reading the signs, but King Tut was trying to tell them, don't discover me until you can find a time where they can send in dogs now. They got these robot dogs. So these days they would send in the dogs to just see if there's anything bad in there that could kill people.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
That's really useful information.
Yeah, so King Tut was like, don't discover me yet until you've, but the guy like dug for like 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking about stuff like that, you know? That's what writing Bart, do you write Bart a lot or?
Not really. So believe it or not, I'm actually a hermit. I don't really get out as much like I used to. So I have a routine. I go to school, I go to work, and that's about it. And I only take like the bus.
So the Inner Richmond, is that near City College or?
No, not really. So I take the 29 where I'm at,
Mhm.
and then from there I go to Ocean Avenue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How long you been at City College?
Believe it or not, I've been there for 6 years, and I'm still determined to get my degree and stuff.
Yeah.
Only because, like, for the past 5 years, I've been dealing with a lot of issues. Like, I've been fighting with my demons, my depression, and I did abuse alcohol at one point.
Oh yeah.
Only because, like, I've been dealing with a lot of, like, stress, depression, and issues at work. Because the jobs that I had in the past were pretty much dead end jobs, and I was like doubting myself whether or not if I'm really going to get that degree or have that success.
Yeah.
And I want to become like the first one in my family to actually have a college degree because I can feel good about myself. Me as a Mexican American and a female too.
Yeah. I know that's important to you. What are you studying?
Psychology.
Yeah, that's a good thing for a comedian. Like, I think psychology and comedy, like, you got to be able to read, like, the audience,
Yeah.
you know? It's like, you see what's happening around here, like the fentanyl crisis, but you really don't hear the comedians talking about, like, what's really happening now.
Yeah.
It's almost like, yeah, is that weird, or?
That depends with people and stuff, you know. Everybody's different. Like there are some comments out there, like they don't want to talk about certain things or they just don't want to bring it out.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense in a way because I'm also like that too when it comes to my shows.
Mhm.
Like I don't like to talk about my past, like the dark past.
Yeah.
I just want to move on from it.
Yeah.
Like when I'm on stage, I'm just there to make jokes.
Yeah.
To make people feel good about themselves, even after like a tough day at work, or maybe you're just dealing with some personal issues at home, or maybe you're just like fighting your depression, your anxiety, and all that stuff. Like my job as a comedian is to make you laugh. Like if you can, it's like if I can make you laugh, it's like shit. I must be doing something right.
Let me hear your jokes.
All right. There are some jokes I have been working on, but please excuse me if I didn't say it like too much.
Say what you want. You can
All right.
swear here.
I remember like my dad, he came to my room, he goes, I was like, what? My dad's like, hey, did you know they actually invented some kind of deodorant for your butthole? And he goes like, what's next? A trap for your vagina? I was like, shit, Dad, that's pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Does your dad go to your shows, or?
No, so Papa Bear, he's actually pretty independent. He likes to be alone, like in his room and all that stuff, and just want to be relaxed, even from a tough day at work and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
But he's a pretty cool dude though. Like he's actually like he's very supportive of me what I do. I remember the first time that I told him that I was doing comedy, he was like, "Oh, finally, my daughter's following my footsteps. Go, mija, show them your joy.
Oh,
Tell
yeah.
them about the Perez family way."
Did your dad do comedy, or?
No, he's kind of shy when it comes to the stage and all that stuff, but he does love to make his friends laugh and his family laugh, which is me as his daughter. Yeah, I think it was pretty dope what he does, you know.
It's my parents' fault. They gave me a microphone at 7 years old. They gave me some recording device with a microphone. Like, it's their fault. Like, yeah, I've been down with a mic from all that time. It's different for me. Like, I like having the mic itself because I did an improv class one time where there was no mic. I kept getting yelled at because I don't really have a strong voice. But yeah, with stand-up, I can control the volume a lot easier, yeah.
And we all gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember my first time when I did do comedy on stand-up for open mic.
Mm-hmm.
I was seriously nervous as hell. Like I was so nervous, like my heart started to beat fast. But then I was like, the show must go on. I couldn't just chicken out. It's like I'm on stage, so might as well just do it. So what I did was I grabbed the mic and started cracking up some jokes. My first joke was me making fun of my job, and the second joke was me making fun of my ex on this little tiny little movie of his. And the people started liking that. and then because it can kind of it relates to people when it comes to like like toxic relationships, even with a bad work environment.
Let's
It's
hear it.
like
Let's hear about your ex's
little
wee
wee wee.
little wee and your
It ain't
job.
shit.
Let's hear about your first. No, let's hear your first joke. I mean,
So like the first jokes I did was the fact that I told the audience. I was like, my ex was so toxic, like he tried to control me and all that shit. And I was like, well, yeah, well, your dick was so small, it reminds me of a damn carrot stick. And then like I was talking about my workplace. I was like, believe it or not, when it comes to like the gift shops, like I barely do work, to be honest. So what I do is I'll go to the mirror and just check myself out. I'm just like, ooh, look at this gorgeous little bitch right here.
yeah,
I was like, ooh, somebody's gonna tap this shit tonight.
yeah. You got like the Betty Boop haircut going. I like it.
Thank you. I love short hair because when it comes to long hair, it's such a pain in the ass. Like when you wash it, dry it, it takes forever. And it's like I said before, like these days I barely go out as it is. I'm more of an indoor cat. I like to watch anime. I love to watch American Dad and do my homework, write some things in my journals, what I need to do, what I need to improve when it comes to comedy and all that stuff. Like I need to get the ha going in order to bring like for me like the biggest reward is having people smiles and their laughter. Because it's like I said, it's like me as somebody who understands suffering, pain, and all that stuff. Like it's like I get what you're coming from. Like every once in a while, like I'll watch clips, for example, of Fortune Fister, Fluffy, and my new boy from the block, Rafa. He's actually pretty dope.
Who's your favorite stand-up?
My favorite stand-up comedian is Fluffy. I
Fluffy?
love Fluffy. Gabriel Iglesias.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I used to know Fluffy before he
Ooh,
became famous.
for real?
Yeah, I used to know him. Yeah. Yeah, I used to know him back in the day. Yeah, that's crazy. I like his success. It's crazy and stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, the show he did at Dodger Stadium, that was my 50th birthday. It was kind of weird that it was almost like it was kind of strange. I turned 50 last year and so
Yeah.
yeah, Fluffy's hilarious and so yeah.
He is though.
Have you seen him a lot live or?
To be honest, no. So believe it or not, I'm a starving student. Actually, I'm 5 different things. I'm a starving student, I'm a starving comedian, I'm a starving writer, voiceover, and I'm a starving singer. So I'm basically 5 things. And I've been doing like a lot of stuff so I can have some kind of backup plan just in case none of these things ever work out.
What instruments do you play?
I play piano.
Oh yeah.
You.
I used to play the trombone. Like, yeah, I was in grade school. I played the trombone, and yeah, I kind of knew it, but it was the wrong instrument. They had like I think the last week of school, they had a school show for everybody. That I think the whole county,
Yeah.
and I didn't know my notes, but I was too shy to admit it. So I tried to fake the trombone, but the trombone's all lined up, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just messing it up. And they canceled the music program the next year.
It's like shit.
And I feel like it's my fault. I feel bad. You know?
Don't worry about it.
I could if I had like taken the trombone serious, who knows? But I don't know why I chose the trombone. How long you been playing the piano?
For a while, since I was about 20 years old. And when I first played piano, like at first it was pretty hard. But then for some reason, like I just enjoyed the pain of it. Like on my fingers. Like I enjoy making the beats and all that stuff. And it's like a beautiful feeling of you playing a piano and all that because it just gives you joy, it gives you happiness. Like when it comes to music, like I love music. Like I love all kinds of music from heavy metalists, from rap. Like my favorite rapper is actually Tupac Shakur.
Oh yeah, Tupac. Yeah. Tupac is great.
Yeah, he is pretty great.
Yeah, like It's crazy how long it's been since he's been gone and stuff.
I know.
You know, even like the 1 year I did trombone, I can like whistle really well, which is really weird because it's like I picked up like an even sound thing. Even my ears are sharper, even just for 1 year. But yeah, like, what's your favorite Tupac song?
California Love, Keep Your Head Up, and also So Many Tears.
Yeah, you know, it's weird that you bring in Tupac because, you know, are you like a fan of the Grateful Dead or?
Yeah, I actually am.
Well, you know, this is the last Dead shows. They're not going to be on tour
Oh
anymore.
shit.
And so I hear a rumor that Tupac's going to actually show up this weekend. Because he just wants to see these shows.
I,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you think about Tupac showing up?
I think I think it's pretty dope
Yeah.
having Tupac showing up to a show.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would be great. I don't know what would you ask Tupac if you saw him in front of you?
I will ask him, so what is your secret of success? Like,
Yeah.
what motivates you to do better in life?
Hmm.
And give me some tips how to write a pretty good rap song.
Yeah, he was really good at it.
Yeah.
I guess there's like a lot of songs that haven't come out yet. So yeah. I didn't know if he was dead or not and stuff. It's weird. I was actually in Vegas a couple weeks after he died. I don't know what I was doing down there, but yeah, it was sad. But it just seems like it was so far ago and stuff. Do you get a lot of rap shows in the city now? Or?
Um, to be honest, I just cannot afford certain concerts and all that stuff. Like, I've been trying to save up money for myself for a lot of reasons. It's like the money that I saved, it's just for schooling and for immersion products. Like, I just cannot spend my money on dumb material things like expensive purses, dresses, jewelry,
Are you
or
still?
even concert tickets or anything like
Oh
that.
yeah. Well, are you still buying real books or how are the how are
Yeah.
the books these days? Are they real or are they like computerized or how you get your books these days for class?
Um, can I be honest? So
Yeah.
to be honest, like that depends on the price because I'm somebody who loves to budget themselves when it comes to money and all that.
Oh yeah.
So I understand the value of a dollar. So what I do is like I'll purchase books that is more affordable. Like
Mhm.
I cannot spend like I cannot afford $200 on a book at a
Yeah.
bookstore. Like that's not my price. That's not the range that I'm aiming for. So like the website I've been using is Chang.
Hmm.
So like I spend between $28 to $12 depending on the size. And so far I've been saving like a lot of money on it.
My favorite day of the year is the day I could sell my books back. That's how much I didn't like college. I don't know. It was weird. I had one professor who he wrote a book. He made everybody buy it. It was a stupid book. Then you couldn't. He would come out with a new copy. It was after a while. Yeah, it became like it was horrible and stuff.
Not everybody can love school the way how I love school. Believe it or not, the reason why I love having an education because like it actually saved me at one point from a very toxic environment by the age of 14. Like I've been doing so many activities, even after school programs. I joined the anime club, art club, asset. Even around junior year, I used to do cross country.
I used to do cross country.
Yeah.
Seriously?
I used to do cross country. I was very athletic back in the day because like I was very fat. Around
Oh.
around seventh grade.
Wait,
True story.
really?
I used to be hella fat back in the day.
But how did you run cross country? Is that when you started running when you were hella fat? Or?
So here's the thing. So back in those times when I was like a fat girl, like
Yeah.
I lost all the weight only because like I realized it's not healthy for me just to be fat. And I noticed there were some health issues coming along the way.
Yeah.
Like there was a time where I used to eat like lasagna and a double cheeseburger at In-N-Out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard. There's only one In and Out in San Francisco.
I
It's
know,
at
right?
it's at Pier 39. Yeah. It's crazy. Like the food is It's hard, yeah, the whole food situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love food. Like I love to eat. Oh yeah. Anyway, so back to the topic about education. So school.
How fast were you as a runner? Did you
I
do many races or?
I was pretty average. I'm not as good as one of my classmates. He was pretty fast,
I am.
but I joined because like it was the it just it's a good stress reliever
Yeah.
basically. It's good for your stress and it's good for my weight. And on top of that, back then I just don't want to be at home.
Yeah, I hear you. I want to be at home now. I mean, it never ends. It's like, damn,
Yeah.
you know.
So
Yeah, it never ends. It's
yeah, I know.
crazy. Like, yeah.
it's exactly the reason why I just love school because with that school, it's like I wouldn't be here in the first place. I would have just like perished a while ago.
Did you want to come to San Francisco, or
Uh,
was it your goal to come to San Francisco itself? Or
to be honest, it's like I don't. It's not like I don't love it or I don't hate it. It's just the fact that my dad lives here and I have two awesome aunties and uncles. It's just that our living situations back in the East Bay, it weren't as good.
oh yeah,
So we just have to get out of there. It was very toxic. It's another like second home of a toxic environment.
oh
And we
yeah,
just have to go because like it wasn't good for my mental health.
yeah.
It just got to the point where I'm just like stressing out and at one point I was going to cry on my way to school, but then I just hold in the tears because I figured because I figured that like I have to be tough because in this
Yeah.
world, I hate to say this, it's cold, it's nasty, people are very rude and disrespectful. But then the first thing that I need to keep telling myself is that don't let that stop you. Go out there and fight them off.
You should talk about stuff like that, you know, on stage. I think a lot of people feel that way. Like, I don't think you're like the only one. Like, I don't think men really understand what it is to be like a woman in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I mean, a friend of mine said she's been followed home from Bart before. I've never been followed. I've never been followed home by
That's
Bart.
creepy.
And it's creepy, and it's like people really don't understand like how crazy things really are. And
Oh,
stuff.
it is crazy. Like just a while ago before I came to the studio, there was this crazy crackhead. He was like, "Hey, don't you have a boyfriend?" I was like, "Sorry, dude, I'm a lesbian." It's like, first of all, you're broke and you're not my type.
That's
And it's like, ew, that's just nasty.
yeah, it's crazy how they're all down there. You know, it's like the building next door is the federal building. It's a
Oh, for
national.
real?
It's like a national building, and you got the federal courthouse across the street. So you're like, this doesn't make sense. Like, you got federal cases going on, and you got all these people doing drugs openly.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to have you ever seen The Deuce on HBO? It's about some show about the 70s in New York. And I think the police decide certain areas are okay for drug use. I think the police has decided this area is okay. I'm not really sure why.
Speaking of that, like I've been watching clips of San Francisco back in the day, like it's like around the 60s area.
Yeah.
It was so nice and clean.
I
And
am.
now it's like, oh my God, what happened to San Francisco? The most beautiful city in the planet has turned into that.
People moved out, you know, like, I mean, you probably, yeah, people moved out.
I mean, who can blame them, to be honest? Like, here's the thing, it's like, who can blame people for moving out? First of all, the rent is too expensive.
Hmm.
And there are certain areas in downtown, it's not exactly safe.
Yeah.
Even I wouldn't go to downtown at nighttime. It's like,
Uh,
no way. Someone like me could easily be kidnapped.
Yeah, I remember years ago, this was back in the 90s. I'm not old. I was looking for weed in downtown, and the guy, I think I handed him a 20, and he's like, he came back to me, he said, if you give me 40, I'll give you like a quarter. And I said, well, how do I know you're going to come back? And he gave me this toothpaste holder thingy. He said, this is the last thing I have of my mom, and I fell for it. I thought he was gonna come back because of the toothpaste, and I was dumb. I had to learn my lesson.
We all gotta learn our lessons, my bro.
We gotta learn our
Even
lesson.
someone like me, like I learned my lessons along the way. Even though some people kind of see me as, oh, do you ever make good decisions? I'm just like, believe it or not, no. There are some decisions that I do regret
Hmm.
doing them, but then you need to understand it's like I'm a human being. Like we all make mistakes. It's like, it's like sometimes I have to question humans. I'm like, are you perfect?
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd be like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, you're bullshitting. I know for a fact you ain't perfect.
Well, I'm not perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm only perfect on days that I would lie. So. But are you perfect? Are you
No,
perfect?
not
Yeah.
perfect. Like I said, I made like a lot of mistakes in my
Yeah.
life, but overall, as an adult, like versus like the now, basically, I learned that in order for me to prevent those mistakes is not making the same mistake twice.
Mhm. So did you like high school? Or?
No, believe it
No?
or not, no.
You're a very good speaker, though. You have a, you have a good speak way. Like you have a good way of doing speeches. Did you do speech classes or speech and
Um,
debate or?
Not really. It's just that I remember Papa Bear once told me, he goes, "Hey, you do have a unique voice. You kind of remind me of a cartoon character." I was like, "Really?"
Uh,
I was like, "Sweet." I love animation. Like, I love Disney. I love Naruto, which is an anime. And I do love DC and Marvel. I'm such a big fat nerd when it comes to those things.
so is Papa Bear your father? Or?
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
call my dad,
You
Papa
call your
Bear.
Papa Bear?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he likes that nickname from me. He goes, I
Okay.
love it because I'm so mean and vicious.
That's
I'm like,
fair.
yes. I'm like, yes, Papa Bear.
Papa Bear.
Yeah.
Does he have his own Instagram, Facebook?
No, like I said, he's very private when it
Yeah.
comes to him, so I try not to like mention him as much.
Yeah.
It's like, people, please don't bother Papa Bear. Just bother me because I actually like the attention.
That's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you going on stage soon? Or?
No, it's actually my day off from stage work.
Mhm.
I've been doing like performance on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. It depends where I go to. Like, if I have to go on stage, then I'll go only because I love performing. Two, it's like it's something that I love to do versus my dead end job that I'm working at right now.
What is your job?
I work at a sandwich shop in
Oh.
downtown. It's something that I don't love because I've been doing restaurant for the past 6 years.
Mhm.
And at one point, I'm just like, I need to get out of here because I need to go somewhere where I can be happy, not somewhere where I'm just miserable and all that stuff.
Mhm. The sandwiches are important.
Yeah.
Aren't they really?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my coworkers. It's just
Yeah.
I don't like the customers.
Yeah, especially in that area. And
Yeah.
stuff, yeah. People don't treat you well.
No.
Do they tip you or?
Yeah, they do. I do love some of my customers, but not all of my customers, though.
You have regulars, don't you? Or-
Sometimes, but I barely get to see them. It's like what I told my coworkers. It's like I'm barely here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first job was at Great America. I did the hamburger. I worked the hamburger stand at Great America. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I remember a couple of things I'm not proud of. Like one time a burger fell on the ground and I just stuck it back on the grill. I want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then another one is some guy came up to me and said I ordered a Diet Coke. My girlfriend can't have real Coke.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I'll just give you another Coke. I got fired for serving beers. I was not even 18. You can't serve beers until you're 18
Oh
and
yeah, that's
stuff.
true.
But yeah, it was a fun job. I wish I hadn't gotten fired. It was kickback, yeah.
It wasn't your fault. The sad part is some bosses do expect certain like expectations on employees, but at the same time, it's like you can't because, like I said before, we're all human beings. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's like I don't expect so and so to do something right on the registers and stuff.
All right.
Like, you need to understand their positions Like at one point, that used to be me. I used to make a lot of mistakes on the registers.
Yeah,
But
the
now it's
register,
like
yeah.
but now it's like I'm a pro. I cannot just sit there and just belittle the new guy or the new
Um,
female register, whoever. Yeah, whoever.
yeah,
Like I have to be nice to them.
yeah,
Like if you want somebody to grow, you need to talk to them in a very positive manner.
yeah.
Just be like, hey, don't worry about it. Like I make mistakes too.
Mm.
And I'm just like, do I sit there and just like care what people think of me?
Not really.
And they're like, well, do you care? I was like, no. And here's why. It's because one, I don't give a fuck. Two, it's like, who gives a shit what people have to say about you? It's like, you're just here to learn.
Yeah.
Like, I don't expect you to become like the next Einstein. Like, I just want you to take your time and just do the work.
I expected to be the next Einstein. Not really.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you like psychology or?
I do. And here's why. It's like what my friend Sarah once told me. She goes like, I can see why you like psychology because you can sit there and like empathize with people. Like I can relate to people,
Mhm.
and the reason why people love talking to me is because I can actually listen to them.
Mhm.
Like whatever problems they have, like I can just sit there and just listen what they have to say.
Mhm.
I'm not like most therapists where they're just there for a paycheck or anything like that. The thing with me, I'm very nurturing, very loving. It's like, oh, I get it. I see where you're coming from. And it could be like a long story from the beginning, middle, and end. I'm just like, I see, I understand what you're going through. I'd be like, at one point, that used to be me. I used to be in that situation. I used to be in this situation. And it's like, da, da, da. It's like a never-ending story.
It's weird, like doing therapy. Like these days, what do you think about doing like Zoom therapy stuff? Like, do you think like it's the same feel than talking to somebody one on one?
Not really. I guess I'm pretty old school when it comes to like seeing people in person
Yeah.
because I get the feeling that like you get to you get to make the person feel more happy and show them compassion. Yet you have to show them that you care about their emotions and all that stuff.
Mm.
Regardless what kind of thing they have done in the past. It's like my job is not to judge people. My job is to heal people, to help people what they're going through.
I started therapy. I think I was around 7. I think we came to America around 7. Like I was even doing Spanish therapy back then because it was still my first language is Spanish.
Yeah.
We came from Chile. Yeah. Yeah. I remember telling this guy that I thought I was from the old west. Like I sang my past lives or something. I don't know what he must have been thinking. Like I'm doing past lives. Like I was in the old west. You know, that's me. I come from the old west. What are you doing? But I don't know how I ended up doing therapy at 7. Did you start very early too? Or?
In therapy?
Yeah, were you doing therapy when you were younger? Or?
Maybe when I was 14, only because my mom thought, oh, there's something wrong with you. And I was like, what? What do you mean? She goes, you wear too much black. I was like, I love the color black. You see, let's just talk about high school back in the day. So back in high school, I wasn't exactly the most pleasant girl out there. I was like this emo chick with my hair like this. I used to put my hair like that all the time. And I did love wearing a lot of black because one, that's my style. Two, that's my image. And three, like when I wear black, it's a lot cooler on me.
It's a lot easier to wear black.
Yeah.
People don't realize that when you go through an all black face, you don't have to worry about color coordination. You're already like, boom.
You see, the thing with my mother, I don't know if you grew up in a very like strict traditional household of Mexicans.
Was your mom from Mexico? Or?
Oh yeah, she came from the motherland.
Yeah. I think it's like foreign parents. I got foreign parents. And it's a different thing altogether.
Yeah, that's like the one thing that people don't understand, like where it's coming from. It's like I grew up with 2 different households. My
Yeah.
dad, he's actually American,
Mm-hmm.
And my mom, she's actually Mexican, as in she actually came from the motherland in Mexico.
Yeah.
My relationship with my mom, it's not exactly good. It's more complicated, but I try not to be negative
Mm-hmm.
about my mom because by the end of the day, I still respect my mom.
Yeah.
I don't love my mom. I just respect her because she's my mom.
Yeah.
That's the woman that that's basically my mother. That's it.
I mean, you don't have to love your mother, but
Yeah.
it's different. I mean, you got years ahead of it, but you should get like try and work things out.
Oh, we do.
You know.
So these days, our relationship as mother and daughter,
Yeah.
it's okay at the moment.
I live with my mom. I'm still fighting with her. Like, you never stops. You know?
Yeah.
Same things we've been fighting and your dishes, this stupid stuff. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Are you scared of AI or
Scared of what?
AI?
What?
AI, the whole artificial intelligence. Are you afraid of artificial intelligence? No.
No,
No. You're not afraid of robots taking us over.
not really.
You don't see a robot's gonna take over your comedy job.
Well, they're not funny. That's the thing. Robots are they're just to compute and make some weird robot noises, be like,
Yeah.
"Hi, humans, we come and purge," that kind of thing. And I feel like a robot's not gonna sit there and just relate to you. It's
I'm
a
excited
machine.
about robot. I think we should offer some robots. Like make us food. Clean up. I mean,
Well, like I said, I guess I'm pretty old school, when it comes to certain things. Don't get me wrong, I love my cell phone. I love to be on social media.
mhm,
And there's certain things I do use my phone, such as Uber Eats,
yeah.
whenever I don't feel like cooking, because I love to cook. And I love to clean because it's good therapy.
um, when I was in high school, there was no social media. The internet was like maybe 5 years
Yeah.
away from blowing up. But I do think I probably would have done better because I was kind of shy in high school. And on social media, I just say what the hell I want. So I tried bad behavior, so yeah, things like that. Did you like social media during high school?
So back in those times, my dad was actually pretty strict on me using social media, so I didn't use Facebook until the age of 17. Same thing with makeup. Like, he didn't let me wear makeup until I was 16. So, I have, less access on social media whatsoever. And the only thing I can do is just, hear my friends talk about the latest fashions and trends, what they go through on their phones and stuff. But I do use certain apps when it comes to fashion and makeup and all these other trends as well.
Did they keep the cell phone from you? Did they decide there was a certain age you couldn't have a phone?
Yeah.
Or what age was that when they decided?
I was 13 when I had my first phone.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I was older than 13. I think I was maybe 19, 20. I didn't know that back then they actually counted all the minutes,
Yeah.
I was just using it randomly. I thought, but back then you would make a phone call to another country, you're gonna get charged. So it's totally different now. Now, you got WhatsApp. My mom uses WhatsApp to call Chile all the time, and I'm like, you used to pay for these calls. Now it's free, and you wonder why they're listening into everything or they keep track of everything. I heard the new TVs actually make money now. They make money by keeping track of all your data and stuff. Yeah. So, did you do any theater productions when you were in high school at all? Or?
So back in those times, oh my God, the golden years in high school, wasn't really sociable. I was like this socially teenage girl back in the day. I didn't like speaking to people whatsoever,
Yeah.
and hated it. I hated the theaters and all that stuff. I was very shy too, but I was shy. I was very angry, and I was super blunt and direct. And it's like a mechanism, like a guard, just to keep people away from me and all that stuff.
So are you getting booked a lot, or are you getting booked more than you thought you would at this stage, or?
So lately I've been doing a lot of open mics,
Mhm.
but on the same bars. I've been going to the Nick of the Woods.
Oh yeah, Neck of the Woods,
Yeah.
yeah. Are you part of Hella Funny, or is it Hella Funny?
Yeah.
Are you gonna join Hella Funny, or?
Hella Funny. Is that a new?
Hella Funny is the group that puts on the. I think I heard he owns like the head of Hella Funny. I think he owns Neck of the Woods now.
Oh.
It's like the name of the group is the people who put on the comedy shows.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know about them.
Are you go to Danny Detch's show, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Danny's been on this show. What do you think about Danny?
He's pretty dope.
Uh,
I think he's pretty cool. He's very quiet, very shy.
uh, do you like this pencil?
But yeah, the whole.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's really good at that and stuff, you know, yeah. I don't have anything like that. I should have developed some kind of gimmick by then and stuff. Are you thinking about doing a gimmick or?
And here's why. Uh, because I love my natural talent as it is. I'm just naturally funny.
What?
And when it comes to me talking to people, especially with customers or whoever, like they actually laugh.
Uh, that's always good and stuff dealing with customers and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
You ever say things you shouldn't to the customers or?
I seriously bite my tongue when it comes
Yeah.
to people. But back when I was 19, around 19 or 20-ish,
Mm.
I was very sassy towards customers, very
Oh, yeah.
rude, disrespectful. Like I remember there was this couple that got me so irritated to the point where I slammed the menus on the tables, and then they complained to the waiter saying, "Hey, we're not gonna eat here because your hostess, she was very rude and disrespectful." And then the waiter was like, "Hey, you cannot just be all rude and disrespectful towards the customers." Like after thinking about it, I'm just like, oh wait, he's right. I'm basically like sabotaging his tips. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
They're gonna like write a bad review and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I never worked during that time. I probably would have had a bunch of bad reviews too and stuff. Yeah, you just never know. Like these days, it's different, and what people decide is good is bad. It's like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like yeah, especially like dealing with customer service. People they expect you to like do it their way always. You know.
Yeah.
You know. It's like they sometimes you've been going to that place for years. It's changed. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you gotta do. It's like comedy. I find that the thing I like about it is competitiveness, and and you never know what jokes work. You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, and sometimes it gets silent. Like you ever had that experience where it,
Oh yeah. I did.
the,
I did.
and you're, what are you supposed to? What do you do after the crowd goes silent and stuff? Yeah.
So the way how it was taught is like you need to go on, like the show must go on, regardless
Yeah.
if the crowd is silent or not. I just keep on going. Like I don't stop.
Mhm.
As much as I wanted to stop, but then I was like, just keep going, keep going. It's okay. I need to be my own critic though. So now I know it's like this joke doesn't work. Take it off. Go on to the next joke. Put it in and see if it works. Like the whole clap thing, like it actually works on the Rooster Teeth feathers. People laugh about
Oh
that.
yeah, the rooster. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody loved that joke.
Oh,
They even loved the joke where I make fun of my mom. Like
uh,
I remember we were having an argument over something that is very dumb in my opinion.
yeah.
Like what's your opinion with if I wear like a flower on my hair,
Yeah.
like on this side?
You should. Would it be red or what color would you wear?
White.
White? Yeah.
Like so she didn't like the way how I put the flower on my hair. She goes like, "Oh, you're such a whore." I was like, "Well, at least I'm not some old hag trying to impress some dudes out there,
Yeah.
especially with them soggy boobs you got there."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy shit. Yeah. Like, the way you people talk to you, like,
Yeah.
my mom's never been like the most, upbeat person, not the kind of person you think is gonna give you advice, like, and looking out for you. It's almost like you feel like, I better not mess up. I'm gonna hear from mom and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, it's crazy. And yeah, the best thing you can do is just kind of get just control of your own life,
Yeah.
and like once you got control of your own life, or I think that's really what it's about at the end. It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, there's always gonna be controlling people, and the trouble with controlling parents is that it kind of like it doubles down because then you're attracted to controlling people. And it's like,
Yeah.
and you think like, why? It's a crazy cycle, and like you got two controlling people. And you're like, how did this happen? How did I just end up with two controlling people in my life? I
Yeah.
had one, now I got two. I'm like, one of these got to go.
That's one of the reasons why, like, I don't spend too much time with my mom. For a lot of reasons. It's like, one, it's like you weren't there for me when I needed you the most.
Yeah,
And two, it's like, why would you sit there and judge me for something I would never do? Because believe it or not, when I was in middle school, high school, I wasn't much of a bad kid. I never got into fights. I always respected the teachers. In fact, I was one of those, I don't want to say nerds, but I was one of the good students that teachers love. I was just quiet.
yeah,
That's why a lot of teachers are like, hey, you're so quiet. I like you. So continue with your quietness. Like, you don't sit there and just interrupt my class or anything like that.
yeah,
And I actually I do the work, like homework, essays, and I'm just trying to get that C. And at those times, I was just trying to get out of middle school and high school because I didn't like
yeah.
those 2 years when I was in school.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. You keep working. I guess college is everything at the end. Like people don't realize you can take as long as you want in college.
Yeah.
Nobody's like forcing you out of college. So yeah, you keep going until you feel like you're ready for the next level. I felt like I had to get in and get out in 2 years. So.
Yeah.
I should have taken it slower. I mean, I always think about going back to college.
Yeah.
Because I never really got my degree. I put my family through graduation. So
I think you should. I mean,
Yeah.
regardless what age you are, like, you should definitely get yourself an education. I believe that education is very important for a lot of people out there. Because let's be realistic, for the past 5 years, I've been in dead-end jobs where I didn't feel comfortable. I hated doing a lot of extra responsibilities. And I didn't like my bosses back in those days. Some of my bosses I didn't like. And it was the stress, anxiety, even the rush. It just makes me feel like upset.
yeah,
And for me, it's like having an education. It can open to so many doors out there.
yeah. Especially with psychology. I mean,
Yeah.
that's always a good thing to study. And yeah, like comedy is like, you gotta be able to read people quick. It's like,
Yeah.
you never know. To this day, there's certain things you tell the audience, they will straight up just shut down. When I was getting started, they kind of would listen to you
Yeah.
for a minute before they shut down.
Yeah.
But now it's like, boom, it was weird. I performed at Kells in North Beach every Friday, and there's a lot of like techies. There were like Indian techies, and the comedian before me, she made a joke about outsourcing, right? And as a joke, I got on stage, and I said, "How dare her make an outsourcing joke? Why is she doing that here?" And it was quiet, like.
What?
And you would think these people were like, we're Indian, we're probably, but even then, that's a touchy thing for them.
Yeah.
But
So with my stand-up, when it comes to open mics, I don't talk about politics, sports, or anything, important on the news or anything like that, because I want to keep those things separate.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, guys, I'm just gonna talk about like jokes,
Yeah.
not politics. It's
Yeah.
like keep those two separate
Yeah.
because I believe that people are not here to listen to politics. People are here to listen to some jokes.
You'd be surprised. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, I live in, my mom has a condo in a senior community, and they're obsessed with politics.
Oh damn.
And it's like there is a segment of population, that's what they want to hear straight up. But they're like liberal, they want to hear liberal. But yeah, there's a segment of population, they really, they want to eat that up. But yeah, it's just, it's on a slope. It's like, yeah, you know. It's it's crazy. We got another election coming up, and yeah, you don't feel like you should talk about politics at all, or
No,
no?
no. But because here's why. One, I really want to protect my family. And two, I don't want people coming after me, especially on the podcast, be like, hey,
Yeah.
they'll be like this, hey, we hate you because you talk about this, you talk about that. And it's like, just leave me alone.
Yeah,
Especially, someone like me who is like starting up as a comedian, I don't want to ruin my reputation
yeah,
or
yeah,
anything like that. I want to be known as, oh, she's pretty funny.
yeah.
I want to be known as Coco Perez, the comedian, not Coco Perez, the politician.
Yeah, that is true.
It's like keep me separate from those two things. Like I'm just a comedian. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want to hear more about politics, I like just watch the
Wow.
news.
Wow.
Go talk to our mayor, London Bree.
I love them breed, yeah.
Yeah, go talk to her about politics. Don't
Mhm.
talk to me about politics.
Yeah, politics is, yeah, it's one of those things some people, yeah, you can't really talk about it. People are scared about it and stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't like weed at all, or?
No, and I have my reasons why about when it comes to weed. To me, it's like
Did you smoke weed in the
no,
past?
never
Yeah.
smoke weed.
Did you ever like it? You didn't like it
No.
at all? No.
Well, I've been doing some research about weed and all that stuff, and weed can actually it damages your brain cell a little bit. And even though it's a good use when it comes to like medical and all that stuff,
Mhm.
but still, it's like the more you abuse it, like you're gonna become a little bit more lazy along the way and start to forget certain things. Like,
Yeah.
so the only thing I do use, I drink alcohol. I admit, I love to drink alcohol.
What's your alcohol? What's your
I
favorite drink?
My favorite to go drink is a margarita. I'm a classic chick who loves margaritas.
Hmm. Yeah, I never really got into, yeah, alcohol and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't abuse it as much. Like these days, I've been cutting down by drinking 2 drinks at a time when it comes to bars.
Oh, yeah.
I never overdo it like I used to in the past.
That's good. I mean, especially you at these open mics. I mean, you spend hours and hours at a bar.
Yeah.
Like, is it harder for you to spend this much time at a bar?
No.
No?
Oh, well, here's why. Here's my thing. I believe that like everybody has free will.
Mm,
Like you have choices. It's either you do or you don't. That kind of thing. For me, I chose not to overdrink. Even though I'm nervous, yes, I was super nervous.
mhm.
But what I do is I pick one of the less alcohol there is, which is White Claw. White Claw is about 5%.
Oh, yeah.
It's less strong versus, like your typical Jack Daniels, tequilas, vodka, gin, all that good hard stuff.
Did you like Anchor? Did you drink Anchor Steam, or?
I'm not really into beers that much, to be honest.
That's crazy that beer's been around for more than 100 years.
I know.
And the Japanese company Sapporo bought them,
Ooh,
and
I
now
think
they're
that's
getting
okay.
they're shutting it down. They're shutting it, and it's been around for like over 100 years. They just shut it down. Like, are they just gonna shut down our beer? Like that's crazy. I
It is
mean,
crazy.
people are upset. But I think beer's just beer. It's just
Yeah.
awful and stuff.
I don't like all beers. There's only 2 beers I do like. I like the Japanese beer and I like Corona. That's it.
It's not Sapporo that owns Anchor Steam. You're not talking about liking that beer, do you?
No.
Okay, because You're not allowed to drink that beer anymore.
Oh, for real?
We're
Oh, damn.
boycotting. After they shut down Anchor Steam, we're boycotting that beer.
Yeah.
That beer is not allowed in San Francisco ever again. So they're upset over it, but I was like, I couldn't tell Anchor Steam from the others. But I didn't realize there's been a beer around that long.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know about that until I heard about it.
Have you ever been a bartender?
No. I have my reasons why not being a bartender. Because one, it seems really hard, and two, I don't like dealing with drunks.
I went to bartending school for a couple of days, but I never really finished it. But yeah, it's got it. I ain't like dealing with drunks either because you gotta babysit drunks.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
got friends that you know they're gonna be drinking. They expect you to turn to their babysitter. I'm like, I'm not here to babysit your stupid ass.
Yeah.
Just smoke weed and just chill out. I'm not trying to get anybody from bathroom floor but bar. I'm too old for that. Like, yeah, stuff like that, you know. Just stupid stuff. Alcohol brings out a lot of stupidity and stuff. Yeah.
It does.
Um, so, what's your plan in comedy?
My plan in comedy, hopefully I'll have my platform expanded.
Hmm.
Like, I'm not going to just perform in the Bay Area. I also want to perform, like, different states. You know, like Las Vegas,
Hmm.
even LA too. Shout out to my LA fans out there.
There's a lot of LA fans and stuff.
Yeah,
LA's a big market.
it is.
I know a lot of people who move to LA. You know.
I love Los Angeles. I want to go back there someday. Right now, the money's not there, sadly, because like I said before, I work at a dead end job where the pay is actually pretty crappy. It's not something where I could use that money to go to Los Angeles. Like, for me, it's not a good plan. My plan is to have a good, proper career, and I'm just gonna use that money to go to Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's always good, you know, like, yeah. I mean, that's what it is when you're doing comedy, is you're trying to move up to go to LA and get noticed. So did you ever think you're gonna end up being a comedian, or?
To be honest, I always wanted to be a singer.
Mhm.
I want to become like the next, well, not next, but I want to be next to Jenny Rivera herself. Because I love to sing banda and mariachi, not just like comedy. But the reason why I got into comedy because like I had my coworkers. Shout out to Angelina and Ryan. Sorry, Ryan, I almost forgot your name. And also a customer, I don't know his name exactly, but they're like, "Hey, you're pretty funny. For somebody who works here, you're pretty funny."
That's hella good.
It's like I don't mean to put religion in this. I feel like it's like a message from God or the universe saying like this is your calling right here.
Yeah.
Go to comedy. So I performed. My first stage was on a Monday. I still remember this. There was this flyer called the Donut Laughter. You know, Kat?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Was the hostess Kat? The first thing I did, I just signed up.
Hmm.
And when I signed up, it was the greatest feeling there is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Not only was the greatest feeling, but when I was on stage, it feels good just to make people laugh.
It's weird when all your jokes are working, it's almost like you're developing some kind of secret puzzle.
Yeah.
Like you're finding some secret code. It's really weird. And
It
it's
is.
almost like a supernatural feeling about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, but then you got the opposite coming in. Like, is that what drew you in? Like that feeling? Like,
Yeah.
I'm actually, it's almost like developing some kind of little puzzle that is going through. And so, yeah.
So what I do is when it comes to comedy, I seriously will watch like videos of these other famous comics, and I want to see their style. It's like when I sit there and just watch their acts, it's like, so what is the secret ingredients to make people laugh?
Hmm.
And I actually analyze. Like for example, let's just put on Christella. You know Christella?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she talks about her mom and the life of an immigrant child.
Hmm.
To me, I thought it was pretty funny the way how she explained things and all that stuff. Like till this day, I still love the apple joke.
Mhm. It's crazy. Like, yeah, you got to talk about all that stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, being an immigrant is like, there's a lot of immigrants in America. Like, we
yeah,
forget, like, yeah, we forget that there's so many immigrants, you know. Like, my dentist, they're immigrants. And at first, I didn't like them. I was kind of suspicious. But then after a while, I realized they're immigrants like I am. So I got to give them a shot, you know, because I'm an immigrant. And it's important to be there for other immigrants, you know. Yeah.
yeah.
How about you? What do you think? Like, does do you like? Do you speak Spanish or?
A little. You know what's funny about me? I only speak a little bit of Spanish, but I can sing in Spanish.
Hmm.
But I have a hard time speaking in Spanish.
Do you go to karaoke bars or?
No, I'm still working on my voice. Like it's
Uh,
still raspy because I haven't been singing for so long. But
uh,
what really got me into banda and mariachi in the first place, it was my grandfather who
mhm.
loves to sing Rosario, Vicente Fernandez, like all
Uh,
the greats, Pepe Aguilar.
mhm.
And when he sings those songs to me when I was just a baby, it just like it brings back a lot of good memories.
Yeah, those are great songs, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got friends that played out those that music right out of their cars and people really like it and stuff. Yeah, and then like that is weird. Like, did you ever get into like Spanish comedians, like Mexican comedians?
Um, can you meet?
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite Spanish comedian, her name is Monique.
Uh-huh.
I forgot her last name. You have to excuse me. I have such bad memory.
Oh, that's all
I
right.
love her. I love the way how she's very animated when it comes to like intimacy and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She explains about the crowd about this, and she explains how men are and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's more like a ha ha ha.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit, that's pretty funny.
yeah.
And the second Latin female that I love is Cristela. She's my all-time favorite because I feel like me and her we can actually relate to some things. Like for example, we're both nerds. We're
Mm-hmm.
both responsible,
Yeah.
and we both love to make jokes
Mm-hmm.
and make people feel better about themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And also the greatest thing is we both are fabulous actors. We
Yeah.
like to hide a mask behind our faces
Mhm.
only because we're sad on the inside.
Oh, yeah. So, what's your last Halloween costume? Did you go out on Halloween or
No.
are you like were you an emo for a while? Or did you do the emo thing?
So to be honest, when it comes to Halloween, I'm not much of a fan of Halloween like I used to. Only because none of my friends ever invite me to Halloween parties or anything like that. And like yeah, I'm sorry. When it comes to the holiday, it's like to me it's just another day. But I do like Christmas though. Christmas is pretty cool.
Yeah, I never get invited to parties either and
Yeah.
stuff. Halloween parties and stuff. But this is the real Halloween this weekend. I mean, everybody's coming out for this show.
Yeah.
You ever been to a dead show? Or you
No.
don't seem like a dead person. Yeah.
So back to the emo phrase thing back in high school. No wait, middle school and high school, even throughout my adulthood. Like I love gothic beauty. I love to wear lace, as you can see,
Mm-hmm.
and the dark makeup as well. It's my image and that is my thing. That is something that I love to enjoy. But every once in a while I do like to make a fusion, like from gothic to sexy to hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are the kind of things. That's my style. That's my fashion right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped doing the whole emo phrase till I was like 15. That was when I was dating my my ex-boyfriend at the time.
Is there like a shopping website you're addicted to? Or
No,
is there one website? What about Amazon Prime? Were you looking for deals or?
I don't do Amazon Prime.
Uh,
And here's why, because it's very expensive for one, especially with the monthly payment. It's like this is just too ridiculous to purchase to purchase things,
mm,
especially when I just use it for one time.
mhm.
And I'm just like I enjoy in-person shopping. I love going to the malls. I love going to Concord, San Bruno, and
Oh yeah,
sometimes LA City.
the Sun Valley Mall. Yeah,
Yes.
the Sun Valley. And like, do you go play the video games or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they
I'm
have a
such a
whole,
nerd.
yeah, they got a whole video game area down
Yeah.
there. Yeah, they got bowling and all that stuff. Yeah. What's your favorite mall?
My favorite mall till this day, it's at my hometown in Sacramento in Roseville,
Oh yeah.
the Galleria Mall. It's pretty awesome, pretty dope, you guys. You should check it out every once in a while. It's one of the biggest malls there is. I love their shopping centers.
Oh yeah. Have you been to the Great Mall in Milpitas?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like around. So you just keep going around and around. Yeah, the mall that was near my house where I grew up in San Jose got torn down, you know. And then they tore down my elementary school. They didn't even give me a chance to become famous so they could name it after me. You know, they just tore it down. They're like, forget you. Kind of sad knowing where I first learned, you know, even English is not around anymore, you know.
Yeah.
They don't like care about any of that stuff. You know?
Yeah.
It's like things like that don't matter. So do you want to host comedy shows or
No.
do you ever want to be like an open mic host or
No.
no? Do you never want to host or
Not really. Only because, well, I'm not trying to say like I'm better than anybody else because we all got to start somewhere, right?
Mhm.
Like, for example, Fluffy started out at performing at weddings, barbecues, somewhere small. Like, every comic that I know, they started out by performing at bars and different venues and stuff.
yeah?
And I feel like I can go to the next level than me just being hosting and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and here's why, like I said, like, my style of comedy is a way to bring people joy, laughter, make them feel happy about themselves.
All right.
As somebody who understands like pain, suffering, and life, I want to transform those things into something that is good. Like, don't think about what's going on. Think about the joy that you're having when I make jokes.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Just keep on going the whole ha ha ha,
Mm.
so you can feel better about yourself.
You're a good salesperson. You got a technique down, you know, so it's like,
you.
yeah, you could be good at sales and stuff, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm very good when it comes to selling alcohol. I remember one time I used to one time I used to work at this place called Players. I was very good at persuading people
Where's
purchasing
Players
alcohol.
at?
It's somewhere at the pier in the very end.
Oh, yeah, really, I know where the In and Out is. That's about it.
It's okay.
Uh,
No worries.
yeah, I haven't been, I used to go a lot. Like, do you go to museums in San Francisco at all? Have you been to them?
No, you know what's funny? People ask me, they're like, how come you live in San Francisco but you don't go out as much? I was like, because I'm tired.
Or?
After work, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do is just go home after a long day from work.
Do you prefer having classes online or?
Two, online
Uh,
or in person, depending like which one's the easiest. I can get credits
yeah. Which one do you prefer the most? Like,
in person,
in
so I can
person?
have the feeling again of being like in class.
Yeah. I think I probably would have done better online because you just do your space, your speed. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I always wonder how I would have done online. Yeah. So, are you trying to like go to a 4-year school or?
Yeah, just to get my degree. It's more like a safety net just in case if things don't work out. And I'm very tired of having like a dead end job where the pay is actually pretty lousy.
uh,
And there are some managers where they just don't really care about you as much.
no, yeah, okay.
And three, it's like I feel like I don't want to say smart. I
Yeah.
feel like I can do so much better with my life
I think so. You
than me
seem
just
smart.
like,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, my first time on stage was I took a stand-up class in college, so our final was and we spent months and months writing the jokes. So yeah, that was my first time on stage, and I did really well and stuff, but yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, it's like you never know where stand up like takes you and
Yeah.
stuff. I really like the competitiveness out of them. Yeah, you feel like you got a bunch of jokes you know that work, and then
Yeah.
you want to bring out something like I think I was talking about the Supreme Court, and they ain't like that at all. And stuff, so.
Yeah.
So at the end, it's almost like you got you don't know where to go. Yeah, it's like they're not here to watch CNN. They're here to watch comedy. It's true.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Right.
But everybody's different, and it's true. It is like a competition, and what I do is like I just ignore it.
Mhm.
It's like here's my rule, which I believe every comic who is starting up, you
Yeah.
should follow this rule always. Number one, you're only here to entertain people,
Yeah.
not to start drama. If you want to start drama, then might as well go to our rap show and start rapping them lyrics out. Number two, our jobs is to bring joy to people. That about it. And that's like the only two rules that I would recommend that every newbie out there just ignore the haters. You know how many haters I got in this
Oh,
world? I
man.
got a lot of haters. And do I care what they have to think about me? No. It's like it's kind of like a whole fuck you moment, but you don't take it to their
Yeah.
faces. You keep it low key.
Mm.
If they want to talk shit about you on stage, then let them talk shit. It's like you're doing something right in order to make people laugh and smile. If you can at least have one smile, keep going. You're doing something right.
So did you sign up for the Facebook lawsuit or?
No.
Oh yeah. I hope I get money out of it. I've been on Facebook for more than 15 years. I think that's why they started Thread because they figured out they're gonna have to give out money for that lawsuit. So they're just trying to figure out a way of making sure that that money goes back to them. Yeah, that's how they do it. When they gotta give out money, they always got a backup plan. Yeah. So, how long you been on Facebook? Like for a while or
Since I was 17.
17?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been on Facebook for a while, but I didn't like it. Like, if my friends weren't on there, I'd be like trying to get out.
Yeah.
I never got in trouble on Twitter. Have you ever gotten in trouble on any social media? Or?
No, I try to keep it low key and keep my opinions to myself.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
I got opinions on opinions on opinions.
A bunch of opinions.
Well, yeah, because when I grew up, it was the Red Scare. They had us hating communism. So they kind of forced like politics on us. So it's hard for our generation to just like turn off politics. Like we were surrounded by politics all the time. Like Russia, this, the Soviet Union, communism. Yeah, it's almost like my generation. So yeah, for us, it's like I think it really depends on the generation. So yeah. Um. So what part of Mexico is your family from?
They're from Moriscos,
Uh,
like around Mexico. It's a very small town.
my stepmom's from Pachuca. I think. She's from way the hell up there. I guess it's farther up than Mexico City and so yeah. Did you get back to Mexico at all?
No, I have my reasons why.
Uh, yeah, I haven't been to Chile in like over 10 years and so. It's fun. I went to Tijuana last time I was in Mexico. I really liked it. I thought I could live in Tijuana. I thought I could just live out here. It's cheaper and stuff. But yeah, then it became like, I don't know, like some different change and stuff. But,
Yeah.
so do you spend every day writing jokes? Do you have like a binder? Or?
Not really. And here's why. So when it comes to making jokes, like everything's is just in my head. I just act things out in my head.
Yeah.
And what I do is I just write them down. Like there's a few events in my life I find them funny. It's like I pick and choose certain events.
Mhm.
I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna talk about this, I'm gonna talk about that, and I start writing things down.
Yeah.
And let's go back to the topic of the haters. So
You
with
got a
me,
lot of haters?
yeah, I got a lot of haters. Like
Tell me
right
about
away,
your
I
haters.
got some haters. I don't want to say their names or anything like that because I'm not here to make drama. That's not my
Are
MO.
they women or
Oh yeah, women and men.
were they like other comedians? or-
Yeah,
Yeah.
comedians.
What are they saying about you?
So I remember there was this one comedian when I was in Sacramento. I was at this restaurant called the Vincent, and right away he was like talking crap about me, saying like say something negative only because I said something funny about myself, the fact that I'm not really into relationships. And he goes, "Oh, that's why you go to Comic-Con, just to go with guy after guy after guy." I was just sitting down like this, just chilling. I'm just like, yeah, just keep talking shit. Like I didn't say squat about the dude. And like I said before, my job is to entertain people. I'm trying not to have a bad reputation
Hey,
whatsoever.
close it.
Oh,
Hey,
sorry.
so do you do the roast battles or have you done a roast battle?
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You think you would be good at that? Or?
The rose bottles, not really.
I've never done that either. I thought like, yeah. So what did you tell the guy? Did you tell him?
I didn't say anything. And here's why I didn't say anything. You're just there to entertain. You're not there to start drama or making fights or anything like that. If people want to talk smack about you, let them talk smack about you. Your job is to have a good reputation, not make it bad. Otherwise, your career will literally go down the drain.
Yeah. Yeah, like I do a comedy show at Cal's and in North Beach, and they only book like one woman because they told me it's harder to book women, but I don't book this show. And a couple women have gone off on it because they call themselves like a token woman. One woman's like, the other token woman didn't show up, so they found me. I'm the token woman. It's like, yeah, it's really weird, like that dynamic. It's like, yeah, the whole someone like they know that hey, you only. I mean, that makes you look bad. If women talk, they know you only book one woman. You know, yeah. How you feel about that?
How do I feel about that? Well, me personally, like I don't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah,
Some things always happen. Like I don't really expect certain thing to be perfect or anything like that. It's just shit happens. The old saying, just shit, it just happens.
yeah. So do you go to the Punchline on Sundays, or
No,
have you started hanging out at the Punchline? Or?
not yet, but I will pretty soon. I've been
Alright.
emailed the person who does the menus and stuff, and he or she goes something about, oh, you gotta wait for about a year for you
Alright.
to be on stage on the Punchline.
Yeah.
And so far, I need to go to these Sunday shows to have a booker and all that.
Yeah, I think you have to sit there for a year and say
Yeah.
hi.
Don't get me wrong, I don't mind waiting for a year. Like I'm somebody who's not in a hurry when it comes to, when it comes to things and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's see. I'm sorry. Believe it or not, like, I'm not really into relationships
Uh-huh.
only because I find them very stressful and it's a lot of time consuming. Like, you seriously need to put all your time and energy on that one person.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing, like, I don't have that kind of time or energy
Yeah.
when it comes to having a boyfriend or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like, these days, I barely have time for myself. I've been doing a lot of things left to right. I've been performing, I've been going to school, I've been going to work, I've been trying to take some voiceover classes so I can improve on my
Yeah.
voice
Yeah.
a little bit. So whenever I do have a audition for commercials, I'll take it.
Do you have an agent for that or
No.
no? Yeah, like they should have a lot of commercials in the Bay Area. You should get involved in all that.
Yeah, I do. People say I do have a unique voice.
You don't really need relationships to make fun of them. You can just make fun of them anyway. Like, yeah, but
Yeah, true,
some people aren't really good at relationships. My parents got divorced. My mom, I think she never even thought about getting married again. Like, at the end, she realized she wasn't good for marriages. So,
Hmm.
yeah, some people, they're not built for all that.
Yeah.
You know?
That's me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not built for marriage. Or
Yeah.
I have my reasons why. I'm not really into marriage.
Yeah.
I don't want to say like I hate it. It's more like I dislike it.
Oh, yeah. I got married, but she wanted a green card. So, We got married in Vegas a couple of weeks after Tupac died in Las Vegas. I don't even know what I was doing. I think about it. Like, I didn't even think about Tupac when I was down there. But yeah, I never really took marriage that seriously, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. Like,
It's
you-
the same thing with me and relationships. Like, I don't really take my relationships really that serious. But then again, the guys that I dated in the past, ooh, it hurts me to say this, are like one of my biggest mistakes there is.
yeah.
Like, they're very immature. Like, both emotionally and mentally are very immature. Like, they don't give me expectations.
I don't think that's ever gonna change,
No.
I think women just gotta understand. Men are always immature,
Yeah.
I don't know, that never really changes. Never heard a woman say, finally I got mature.
Yeah.
When they say that, he's married with somebody else with kids. That never really changes. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's like a psychology thing. Is that the kind of stuff you want to get into, like family
Yeah.
therapy or
Marriages?
marriages?
Yeah.
So your parents still married?
No,
or
they're
no?
divorced.
Oh. I don't know anybody who's still married. My dad's on his second marriage. So, I mean, like my stepmom is probably better wife than my mom ever was. I don't mean to be mean about it, but
It's okay.
it's
Don't worry about it. I feel
you
the same way with my mom,
Yeah.
except that my dad has never been remarried before. I mean, he has dated a few in the past, but never remarried.
But you like you get along with your dad. So,
Yeah.
I barely see my dad. He's in San Diego. Like I don't. After a while, you barely see each other, and you realize a year later,
Yeah.
you're like, you barely see each other after a while.
Yeah.
That's what family. That's why the internet is better that way.
Yeah.
It's harder to hide, from your family.
Mm-hmm.
Don't shock you down. Don't figure out what you're doing. The technology, like, people can listen into like phone calls now. They can they can make your phone into a recording device so they can hear your conversation. Stuff like that it's crazy what they can do.
Yeah. With my parents, it's a little bit complicated why they got into a divorce in the first place. But the way how my dad tells me stories about, oh, I'm not looking for anybody at this point. I just want to spend time alone. I was like, okay, Dad, that's your decision. I respect that. I feel the same way. As you can see, like I'm more of a hermit. I'm more like a lone wolf in the pack. I love being by myself. And here's why. I found it very peaceful, stress-free, and the best part about being alone, you can have your own little adventures
Yeah.
without anybody like tying you down or saying things like, oh, you're this or you're that or blah, blah, blah.
Do you read a lot of books?
Yes, I do.
What's the last book? What are you reading these days?
These days, I'm just trying to catch up on Malcolm Gladwell's David and Goliath.
How is that?
Pretty good.
I watch the Marvel movies. I only watch the TV shows, but yeah, the whole Marvel, like the whole like, there's different of us and different universes around. I was hoping that there's like a universe that I'm doing really well. I'm like rich and famous at. Do you feel that way? That there's like another universe, another you somewhere? It's totally different. Like,
Oh, I hope so. I'd be like,
yeah.
can we switch lives?
yeah, it's crazy.
I'm tired of being broke and I'm tired of
Yeah.
the suffering.
Yeah, you spend all this time worried about your own life, and then Marvel's got you thinking about some other universe. And I think it's real. I think it's more experimental. I think people probably can buy a planet and see how things work out. Like, But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is kind of strange. I'm still worried about this life. That's how I feel. You too?
Let's see here. I'm sorry, let me put my words all together. So, it's not like I don't hate my life, but at the same time, I don't love my life. Let's go back to the whole relationship thing. I feel like I don't have I feel like I don't have my shit together, basically. If I really want to have that guy, that dream guy that I really wanted. Someone who is ambitious, educated, maybe somewhat good looking, possibly a six pack if possible, and someone who's a little bit taller than me because I love to wear heels. Someone who is healthy as in like that he's not very negative, doesn't get jealous, has no trust issues, and who is very down to earth.
Well, that guy's married to Barbie. Are you looking for Ken or something?
Possibly, yeah,
Oh, man.
maybe, possibly. I know I have a lot
But
of.
you're
I know
young.
I have higher standards when it
You're
comes
young.
to
I
guy.
mean, you shouldn't be worried about all
No,
that.
no, not really.
Just worry about getting on stage,
Yeah,
getting
all
booked,
that.
you know.
To
But,
be honest, I'm not worried about a guy at
yeah,
the moment, and here's why. I believe that. Here's my advice for all the single ladies out there. One, don't worry about men, because men will ruin your life. And two, you need to be cautious about their personalities and behavior. Be aware of the red flags.
yeah,
Don't ignore them. Just be aware of that. Otherwise, later on, you're going to regret it.
yeah,
And whatever you do, don't rush things. Like, stop and think for a moment.
yeah.
And listen to your best friend.
Yeah. And you should always do Google searches on people. I mean, most people they fall in love, they're like,
Yeah.
nah. But I mean, it doesn't cost that much. If you're really thinking about marrying somebody,
Yeah.
it doesn't cost that much to do a Google
True,
search.
true.
See if they owe money, places. I mean, shit like that. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's the way I feel like but yeah, I mean, it's totally different. Like Kevin Costner, he's trying to kick his wife out of $145 million house. It's like, I mean, how you even own a $145 million house?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is comedy gonna be your thing? Is that like,
To be honest, I don't know what the future's gonna take me, and hopefully it does. It will take me to the next level, so that way I can be on a sitcom somewhere on CBS or Comedy Central.
do you practice your lines a lot? Your jokes?
No,
Do you
I just go
prac-
on stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because yeah, you have a good way of talking. Like that's one thing I noticed about you is that you're not really shy talking and stuff. Like you have a yeah. It seems like you've been doing it longer than 3 months.
Nah, not really. I'm still a rookie. Even someone like me, I have to like judge myself
Hmm?
when it comes to jokes and all that stuff. Anyways, let's go back to the whole dating scene and all that
Tell me
stuff.
about your dates. What is that your ex did that really pissed you off? Like
Oh,
what is it that
oh
you
shit.
that's what we want to hear about. What did he really do? First of all, did he cheat on you?
Uh,
Was it a friend he
to
cheated?
be honest,
It wasn't
I
a
don't.
best friend? Are we talking about somebody best friend or
No. So to be honest, I don't like talking about my ex too much because I don't want him to like hear this podcast be like, "Oh, she's making me famous" or anything like that. In
Well, yeah,
fact,
we're
I don't want to
saying that.
mention his name. I'm
You're
just
not
gonna
gonna-
say so and so at
yeah,
this point.
don't mention his name.
Yeah, because it's like it's like this. If you're hearing this, asshole, fuck you. But anyway, so like here,
Yeah,
so here's what he did just to piss me off.
yeah,
Is for one, he was very emotionally immature, and two, he made my best friend turn against me, saying like you're such a cold-hearted bitch. And two, when he got wasted that one night, he like automatic like right away he started cussing me out, saying "f you, bitch" and all that stuff.
yeah, that's not,
And he acted very rude and disrespectful towards me. And four, he forced me to say that I love you, which I don't. Only because it's like this, I barely know you.
yeah,
To me, you're such a stranger. And right away, you're trying to force me to say something that I just don't feel the same way as you.
yeah.
And he wasn't exactly ambitious. He's always doubting himself. At one point, he accused me for being a lesbian. And he thought I was cheating on him with my friend, my guy friend. It's like, no.
Hey, you can't be a lesbian and be cheating with a guy at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
How did that work out?
It didn't work
That
out.
sounded like, yeah, that wouldn't work out too well. How long you were together?
We were together for 8 months.
8 months, yeah. I mean, yeah, it sounds like he's crazy asshole.
He is.
He's controlling.
He is controlling. Actually,
Yeah.
you nailed it on the nail. He was controlling.
Yeah, a lot of people, they try and control you. They think they know you better than you know yourself,
Yeah.
which is not really true. I mean, who would know you better than yourself and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah. And on top of that, like he tried to persuade me of having a kid. I was like, no, and I have my reasons why. I was like, first of all, I don't have my life together. And
Yeah.
second of all, I'm not financially stable yet. Even now, I'm not exactly financially stable. Because having a kid, it's a lot of work. There's responsibilities, there's bills to pay, and these days, hospital bills,
yeah.
oh, they
Yeah.
are going high. It's like between 10 grand to 20 grand
Yeah.
for a hospital night. And you need to be prepared for the money and stuff.
Yeah, it's expensive.
It is very expensive. And their education, it's like, oh my
It's
God.
crazy. Like, it costs over $1 million to
Yeah.
have a child.
It does.
I know.
And that's where he doesn't really sit there and thinks. It's like, if you're not going to improve your life, then this relationship is not going to work out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So did you dump him? Or?
Yeah, I dumped him.
Oh, yeah.
After the incident of him getting drunk, that's when I started to break it up with him.
What was
and-
his alcohol? What was his thing?
He likes to drink hardcore stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Jack Daniels?
Yeah, Jack Daniels.
Yeah, you should stay away from any Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is always bad. I tell women, like, you see a Jack Daniels drinker, you don't want to deal with Jack Daniels.
No.
You want somebody, like a beer drinker, that's what you need. Some Anchor Steam drinker and stuff, you know. You need somebody who's down with the Stella Rosa. That's what you need.
Yeah,
You like Stella Rosa?
I do actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I used to drink wine coolers back in the day, and somebody told me the Stella Rosas
Yeah.
taste like wine coolers. So did you like take it well when you broke up with him, or?
No.
Yeah.
Obviously no, because he was very possessive, very controlling, and he thinks that like he owns me, that kind of thing. It's like you don't own me whatsoever. I am my
Yeah.
own person,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like I shouldn't known better. I had to
Yeah.
give him 3 chances, and that right there was my fault for giving him 3
Well,
chances.
3 sounds like the right amount. Yeah.
Yeah. And here's why
Yeah.
that I shouldn't give him 3 chances. And that goes for every female out there who's in a toxic relationship is one, don't give them more than 1 chances. 2, if they mess up the first time, get out.
Yeah.
3, like don't sit there and act pity with them. They're not going to change for you whatsoever. 4, if you find out they have like the tiniest red flag,
Uh-huh.
like that's your time for you to leave.
Uh-huh.
Like, don't sit there and be like, oh, I can change them. No, you can't change them. It's like the old saying, a skunk will always be a skunk. You can paint it over it, but that's still a skunk right there.
True. So what do you think about comedians with psychology? Like, what do you think about comedians with people? Like, do you judge as good, or how you see comedians?
I see them as they're just practicing their jokes.
Yeah,
It's like the old saying, we all gotta start somewhere.
yeah,
Even someone like me who is 26, I'm starting out kind of late
yeah.
for someone in my age, but then I believe that regardless how old you are, doesn't matter the age. If there's something that you love to do, just go
Yeah.
for it.
I think you're good at it. I mean, you have a way of speaking about you. It's really good. Like, a lot of people, they just don't have that technique, you know. Like, and that's something you can't really teach, you know. Like,
Yeah.
So your plans, you should be like a talk show host. You should go into that type of world, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Once I made it to the top, I'll definitely go to a talk host. Yeah.
No, it's like the stuff like the, you know. I mean, you seem to be good at it, like just talking to people. Like, I wish I would be like that. Once in a while, I get nervous talking to people.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Just take your time. Like, I don't really expect people to be perfect. Just
Yeah.
take all the time you need.
Yeah, a lot of people, they try and be perfectionists.
Hmm.
They don't really get anywhere. You can't really be perfect. That's
No,
the
you
thing.
can't.
That's
I
the thing.
disagree.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Were you always trying to be perfectionist when you were younger?
Uh, not really. To be honest, even till now, I have this mentality of I don't give a fuck what people think of me.
Yeah,
If people think that, oh, your ideals are very unrealistic, it's like I don't care.
yeah,
Or they say things like, oh, you're not funny enough, not good enough. It's like I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Because
yeah.
I see them as, you need to see them as haters, and
Hmm.
people are actually jealous of you.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of haters out
Yeah,
there, you know. If you don't have any haters, you're just not doing anything right.
yeah,
People don't hate on you if you're terrible.
yeah,
You know, yeah.
that's true. Anyways, let's just go back to the other topic, the whole dating thing. So anyways, like
Uh,
I feel like I just don't have my life together just yet when it
are
comes
you
to
on any
dating.
dating apps or
No,
no? Have you been on any dating apps?
no. I have my reasons why. Of like, first of all, I need to get my life together. Right now, it's not the time or place for me to start dating.
Yeah.
And second of all, I'm just trying to get my degree, my career all set up. And
Uh,
once I do have all these things,
mhm.
and then I'll considering go back to the dating scene. But for now, I'm just enjoying my single time.
So you signed up for classes for the fall, or
Yes,
you all ready for the fall? You excited? Or?
I have classes for the summer, and I'm gonna sign up for the fall as well.
Oh, so you're taking summer school on top
Yes.
of that. Do you like summer school? Or?
So, believe it or not, for my English 1B class, I don't like it as much.
No.
It's not that I don't like writing or anything like that. It's just my professor, he's not exactly passionate about his job.
Oh, yeah. That's one good thing I learned from college is that when you find a professor you like, you kind of keep taking classes from
Oh,
them.
yeah.
That's how a lot of people, they don't realize it. Like, you ask around, there's a lot of bad professors. I could have avoided a lot of bad professors. There was one guy, a history guy, I hated him and stuff. I should have never been in his class. Somebody would have told me he was terrible, you know. You ever do that? You ask around about professors? Or,
No, I just like take a leap of chance. I'm that kind of person.
so you almost done? Or
Yeah, just another, I want to say another year or so. No
uh,
promises just yet, but I'm still hanging in there though.
I mean, classes are fun. Just being there.
Yeah.
The college campus is a fun scene and stuff.
Mhm.
Back when I started college, they would hand out credit cards your first day.
Hmm.
They don't do that anymore. So
Oh, that's dangerous.
yeah, you don't walk in the first day. They're like, here, have some credit cards. You know?
Yeah, yeah,
You end up with $1,000 debts and stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
They don't do that kind of stuff anymore. Yeah.
Uh,
Do you like City College or?
I do love City College, but there are some professors out there they just take their jobs too serious or they just don't like their jobs. Like, for example, my English 1B professor, I can tell he just doesn't like his job that much. It's just, it's his expression and the way how he teaches the class. My last teacher, my English 1A, shout out to Beck Sarah, he is one of the best professors out there for an English major.
Yeah.
Like he does everything in detail and he actually loves his job and he explained to us what the topics are.
Yeah. Yeah, summer school's hard. It goes so quick that if you're really not into it, it's hard to like I couldn't go to high school graduation. I failed my English class, and I had a good time in English class during summer school. So, you know, it's probably one of the best times I ever had in high school was spending time in the summer school, but because everybody was at my level, so yeah, so but English is one of those things like to tell you I don't know what a verb and a noun is, right? You know?
Yeah.
Do you know the difference between a verb and a noun?
I think it's like a noun is like a place, thing, or thing or whatever.
Person.
And place and thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's crazy. Like, I don't know. The rules are crazy. Like, I can speak English,
Yeah.
you know? I don't need to know how to write it. Wow. There's a lot of rules and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never really learned any of it, you know? And it's crazy how they keep, like, you know, every year. I don't know. It sucks.
Yeah. So that's why when it comes to I like to journal in my diary and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to journaling and stuff, it's like my freedom just to write anything I wanted
Yeah.
without anybody judging me. I know for a fact that I'm a pretty good writer. It's just there are some professors out there they may disagree about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, writing is like anything else.
Yeah.
Some people are gonna like your stuff, other people are, some professors they understand, other people they don't care. A lot of professors been there for years, really could care less.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a weird dynamic. It's like a business in a way, so you kind of have to take it seriously, like any other business. You gotta figure out what you want. What are you trying to get out of it?
Yeah.
You gotta do your research on the professors, and at the end, you get what you want out of it. So yeah.
That really depends on the person, And it's like you said before too. Not everybody can like school like I do. Some people hate school, and there are just others that just love going to school.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why they love going to school because they believe education it can open to so many doors out there.
Yeah.
It's like, would you rather have a degree and have a good job and a stable income, or would you rather be in a dead end job for the next 10 years and knowing that you're miserable in that dead end job? It's like, you're not happy. You're just sad. Like, do you feel satisfied with
Well,
the
of course,
job
I'm
you
gonna
have?
choose a dead end job.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't choose a dead end job?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Have you ever had a job you liked though? I mean, was there one job you liked?
I did at one point,
Uh,
and it's called Specialties. I was a barista and a cashier back in those times.
uh,
And here's why, because I believe their system is actually more easier to remember
mhm.
versus the jobs that I have in the past. It's like they just love to make things more complicated.
Mhm.
At least with this job, I can remember the buttons for the registers, and I can refill the cookies, and I can just stand there whenever there's no free time, whenever there's no work,
Mhm.
and just keep on taking care of the customers, or if they have any questions, I'll try to answer them as quick as I can.
So do you work at a sandwich place nearby? Or
Yeah,
how far is it?
it's around the Macy's area actually.
Yeah, because he's always looking for free sandwiches. Is this guy over here? You should hook
I
this.
love me some free sandwiches.
Yeah,
Right now, I
you
can use the
this guy.
sandwich to wake up.
You should hook this guy up. He loves free sandwiches.
I wish I can, but my boss is very strict on food.
Sounds like she only gets half of a sandwich. Is that a discount for her lunch?
Oh, believe me, we have complaints about her with my customers, especially the African American one. He was like, "Did you know your boss kind of acts like a Karen?" I was like, "I am so sorry. In the behalf of me, I apologize for you."
You sound like management already. Apologizing.
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to be in management. I don't want to. I don't want to be somebody who is basic. I want to be somebody that people can actually remember.
So is your boss male or?
She's a female.
Okay, so yeah, you can't call a woman a Karen. That's if it's a male, it's all right. Is that weird? Like, is it a white woman or?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, is she a Karen?
Somewhat, but
Is it bad being a Karen though? I mean,
yeah, it is. You have no idea what kind of Karens we have in our sandwich shop. I remember we have this one Karen. She came all the way to Oregon just to get a refund.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
that is kind of crazy. Why?
it is.
Why?
She was complaining about her stupid sandwich, saying it was dry, it was disgusting, and I left it in my car for weeks, and now I don't like it. I deserve a refund.
She left in her car for weeks. And
Yeah.
How much was the sandwich?
It was about $10.
That's weird. Like you come back all the way from Oregon for $10.
Yeah. She was pretty dumb. After hearing that story in her situation, I'm just like, if people like you can survive, I can survive too.
Ah, they don't got sandwiches in Oregon. Like
Yeah.
that. Oh, that's weird. Oh.
She was just a odd little duckling. That's all I
Oh.
gotta say.
Do people like leave bad Yelp reviews or?
Sometimes, but not always.
Sandwiches doesn't last for a week in my car. Don't come here. Don't come here.
Ah, man.
One time I worked at Round Table,
Mm-hmm.
and I took some ingredients off of one pizza and they fried. They fry. You ever do
Only
stupid
off
stuff?
of one.
Yeah,
Oh,
do
hell
they ever
yeah.
fry you for stupid stuff like that?
To be honest, I never got fired. Thank God. I always quit my jobs, but then there's a reason why I quit my job. It's like one of the reasons is poor management.
Oh,
Second reason is my coworkers, some of my coworkers, like especially the females,
mhm.
they don't like me only because they know I'm cute. I'm cuter than they are.
That is true. That's always a dead giveaway, you know.
Yeah.
It's true.
And it's like it's not my fault that your so-called crushes
Oh,
like I caught their attention from afar.
yeah.
It's like don't stand there and act like a damn stick. Do something. The reason
Huh?
why I like talking to their crushes is because they actually like my jokes. I always
Yeah.
make them laugh and make them feel good about
I don't know.
themselves.
Who cares what they want?
Yeah.
You know,
That's
they're,
true.
they're treating the dude badly anyways.
True, true,
Why
true.
shouldn't you take your turn and do it too, you know?
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm somebody who hates drama. I always avoid drama and stuff. Like I don't like conflict. I guess after living was a horrible ex, two bad environments. It's like you're done. It's
Well,
like my mental health is
Who's
not there.
counting, right? I got two environment, bad environment.
Two, yeah, toxic environments.
I got 10 Taylor Swift songs I relate to personally.
Yeah.
5 I kind of relate to.
Yeah.
I mean, who's counting? You're only 26. You shouldn't be counting like that. Like, they're just things that happen to you, you know?
Yeah. No, I get it. It's like part of life. I'm not complaining about it because at least I'm more mature, saying things like, okay, these things happen to me, so what? It's like this. I believe on choices, on human beings.
Yeah,
It's either you got two choices, basically.
yeah.
You can either be in bed, sleep all day, and just do nothing,
Yeah.
or you could come up on top and be like a bad bitch and start
yeah.
fighting the world. It's just you and the world
You
itself.
should.
Instead of you being a coward, go
Uh-huh.
out there and fucking fight. Show these
Uh-huh.
assholes who the fucking boss is.
Oh. I mean, you're like the only person I know who's moved to the city lately. So. I mean, just the fact that you live in the city is kind of like, it's all balls out anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know many people who actually live in the city anymore. So. You're like doing the opposite. Most people are trying to get out of the city. Do you like it out here?
Somewhat. I just don't like the parking meters. They're
Oh,
too
yeah?
strict.
Oh yeah, finding parking there is crazy.
It is crazy. And you gotta watch out for some some shady characters out there,
Yeah.
because they could easily like hijack your stuff.
Oh yeah, people are they get robbed all
Yeah.
the time, you know. People watch you, they follow you around, like people who work at a garage, they'll like rip you off easily, they'll break your windows and stuff, yeah. Have you had your window broken a lot or?
No, to be honest, I haven't got my license just yet. But yeah, but ever since I've been performing and stuff, like I should get my license. That's why I got the book. I've been writing down some notes and all that stuff because I really want to expand my platform out there. Like like I said, I want people to see me as the comedian. I don't want people to see me as the politician or anything like that.
Yeah.
I want people to see me as, oh, you're Coco Perez. You're pretty funny.
Yeah.
Or at least be like, hey, I like your show. You actually make me feel good about myself. I'm like, ah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, that reminds me, Paul has a driving school too, so I'm just kidding.
You're killing.
Are you gonna take driving classes? Are you really?
Oh no, I know how to drive.
Oh,
I've
you
been
know?
driving. I've been driving way longer without my license. I remember one time where my dad's stomach was erupt, and I had
Oh,
to take
yeah.
him to the hospital in the emergency room.
The appendix burst?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I drove like without my license only because it was an emergency.
Yeah.
Just remember, this was like an emergency. I don't have that much support, sadly, in my little circle and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just me and Papa Bear, sadly. So I drove him to the emergency room,
You
and
have to, I mean,
I
it's
dropped
bad.
him off right there.
yeah.
And he goes like, "Oh, make sure you don't wreck my car." I was like, "I'm gonna send you pictures just to prove it to you, Dad." So I drove it back to our house, and it feels good too to drive. I was like, Jesus, just take the wheel.
Yeah. You should get a license. and
Yeah, I
stuff,
am.
Yeah.
like I said, ever since I've been performing for open mics, like I want to perform everywhere else around the Bay Area, not just the Bay Area, but also to Los Angeles, to LA, to Reno, possibly Texas, Arizona, basically around the states, because I don't mind traveling.
Yeah.
It's like, shoots, this is something that I really love.
Is there a muni bus you won't get on? Is there one number where you're like, I'm not gonna get on this bus again?
No.
Is there one area of the city you like avoid or
Downtown, definitely downtown.
downtown?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Downtown, the Mission, because I'm actually scared.
You're scared of the mission? The
Yeah.
mission is kind of scary and stuff, yeah. The Tenderloin, I don't know, the Metreon is scary. The movie theater. I have the AMC movie pass, so yeah, I'm always in the Metreon. But yeah, it's changed, but I can see like a lot of people, they don't want to come near the San Francisco, you know, but they don't watch zombie films all day long either. Like, this is kind of entertaining. Like, look at this guy, you know.
I never thought I'd say this, but David Chappelle is right, though. We
Yeah.
do need a Batman.
Yeah, we need the Hunger Games, don't you think?
Oh,
We
yeah.
need the Hunger Games for the city. Like, there's a new Hunger Games movie coming out. Yeah, I'm thinking that would be good with some of the, you know, some of these people fight it out and stuff. You're not in agreement of that, like
Yeah.
that's what we need and stuff. Yeah. So you excited about your new school year?
Yes, I'm really excited, but at the same time, I've been questioning about my educations and stuff. But at the same time, I need to look at it as a safety net just in case if
Yeah.
things don't really go as my way. Even though there are some successful people out there, they when they dropped out of college,
Yeah.
like for example, Bill Gates, one of my favorite hostess from The Real, Jenny Mai, she dropped out of college, and also a few other successful people that actually dropped out of college. But at the same time, it's like I kind of want that feeling of having a college degree.
Yeah, if you go
It
into
just
psychology.
it just makes me
right?
feel good about myself.
Yeah, if you go into psychology, you need to go through college. Yeah. I mean, because you gotta get like registered. You gotta pass exams.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's like I said, like before, I'm somebody who's not really into marriages or having kids.
Yeah.
At this point, I actually love being alone. I'm just like a cat in a way. I
Yeah.
love being independent and stuff.
Some people love. Huh?
It's that bad. Your eyes
Oh.
are that bad.
Oh, you're plugged. So, how can we find you, Coco?
You can give it a minute or so, but I just want.
How can we find you on Facebook, Twitter?
Oh, for sure, for sure. You guys can follow me on Instagram or on my Facebook called CL Lover. With a little /12 on it.
I was gonna ask you to be Facebook friends, but I got 5,000 friends. I would have to knock somebody out. Right?
Oh, for sure. Add me on Facebook, dude.
But
The more the merrier.
As soon as somebody hates on me and kicks me,
Yeah.
like defriends me, I'll look for you.
And as for my Facebook name, it's actually my real name, Socorro. It's like Socorro, last name Perez.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's how. That's it. My last name's SCHIAPPACASSC. Mine's even worse, but you know, I feel bad. I got a niece and nephew with that last name. I always feel bad, like, right? You know, it's okay for me to have it, but yeah, the first day of school, I knew it was me. They would like, the teacher would get all quiet. I'd be
Yeah.
like, it's me, and so
I know the feeling when it comes to like, especially when it comes to middle school and high school where you just don't fit in with the crowd. Especially
Yeah.
when those popular girls would be like, oh, you're too ugly or oh, you're too fat. I'm just like, well, you're too much of a bitch and look at you. Like, I'm not out here starting myself like you do. Just for what? Just for a guy who doesn't really notice you that much.
So what kind of high school did you go to? You're doing
So believe it or not, I used to live in Sacramento with my mom
like,
back in the day, only because she is one greedy woman. I'm just gonna say it like that. And I used to go to San Juan High School throughout freshman year till senior year. I actually graduate. And those girls, oh my God, have you seen the movie Mean Girls? They were
Yeah.
exactly like that, but only in Latina versions.
oh yeah,
Not white girl versions, Latinas.
oh yeah. That's even worse and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, people can make you feel bad. It kind of sucks, you know?
Yeah.
And like I keep getting invited to the high school reunions, but I don't
Yeah.
even know these people. Like,
Tell me about it.
I mean, I went to high school with them for years ago,
Yeah.
but it's like after a while, it's just like you forget about it, you know? Stuff,
Yeah.
You know?
For those people who went through the ugly duckling stages, don't worry, you're not the only one. I also went through that stage myself. I wasn't as beautiful as I am right now.
So you're saying you weren't always good looking?
No, I was ugly back in the day.
Uh,
I was ugly and fat.
You look all right now. I mean,
Thank
that's
you.
good. How much weight? I lost a bunch of weight.
I
I
used to
gained a bunch of
be
weight too.
I used to be 190 back in the day,
Uh,
and people thought I was pregnant too.
oh really?
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, how many months?" I was like, "I am not pregnant. I am fat. I am just plain fat."
I did that. I did that to one of my friends. I assumed she was pregnant and she got mad. Like, that was the last time, you know. Don't ever
Yeah.
do that. Like, yeah.
No.
I'm like, are you pregnant? She's like, no.
And then, let's see here, around sophomore year, that's when I started to lose the weight. I was in Iowa, and me and my aunt were just doing Zumba, just keep going, and I lost all the fat and all the weight. And when I lost all the weight, I feel good about myself. It's like, shit, I can finally see my body.
Oh yeah. You knew you were ready to leave Iowa again. Did you like Iowa? How long were you in Iowa for?
I was just there for the summer, maybe 2 weeks.
What is Iowa? I haven't been near any of that area, so.
It's true what people say. It is the land of the cornfields, sadly. But the reason why I go to Iowa is because I have family there. My Grandma Lisa, shout out to Grandma Lisa out there. She makes one of the best tacos out there.
Oh
And
yeah.
if you guys want some tacos in Marshalltown, go to Taco Maravillas. There are the best tacos out there.
I got a big following in Iowa and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
They'll all go down there and stuff. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, check out my grandma's tacos truck. Tacos Maravillas, the best tacos in town throughout Marshalltown. Tacos Maravillas.
So what about out here? What's your favorite Mexican place out here?
I haven't been to any of the restaurants here. Only because, like I said, I've been such a hermit. I have a routine. I go to comedy shows, I go to work, and I go to school, and afterwards, I don't really hang out as much. But these days, my circle has been small. I've been missing my best guy friend, my taco buddy Chris. Shout out to him too.
Where did he go?
He's at the pier.
He's eating tacos somewhere else.
Oh no, it's just we both love tacos. That's why we call
yeah.
ourselves the taco buddies.
Have you haven't been I guess yeah, a friend of mine owns Papa Lotus. He's a comedian on 24th and Harrison, but yeah, like Cancun, but there's not one spot you even tried or no? No?
No, I haven't.
Do you make your own tamales or are you a tamale? Are you a good cook?
Not really, and I'm not really into tamales like that. In fact, there are some Mexican cuisines that I do know how to cook.
Yeah.
And yes, I am a pretty good cook. You can even ask my sisters. She loves my famous lasagna. I made it out of scratch. Like, I make the sauce out of scratch. I make the lasagna like itself out of scratch. I love making homemade foods.
Yeah, a friend of mine makes lasagna, like wheat lasagna, because her sons hate the lasagna. So she knows they're not going to eat any wheat lasagnas and stuff.
Yeah.
Lasagna must be hard, you know. It takes it's all layered and stuff.
Not really. You see, I've been taking culinary classes since high school. So I know all the crooks and crannies when it comes to cooking and stuff. And when I cook, I feel like it feels good when you make somebody happy. Like, I love to eat food, and I like to experiment with food. I like to make food, because when it comes to making food, it tastes better than frozen food for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
of course it does, yeah. So did you ever think about owning a restaurant? Or?
I did at one point thinking about owning a cafe shop, but then first things first, I am starting like I said, I'm doing all 5 different things. I'm becoming like a therapist. I am a starving comedian, a starving voiceover, a starving musician, and a starving writer. Like, I want to do all these 5 things first before I start pursuing my own little cafe shop, because I love because I love coffee.
Yeah, the weird thing is that my eyesight's not good, so I can't even see the menus anymore. So I just asked people, like, what is it? I went to a Japanese restaurant. I'm like, yeah, I want some sushi with no seafood in it. That's the way I order now. Is it me or are the menus getting smaller, or what? Were they always that small? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know about it, especially when I barely go out, you know?
Oh yeah.
But then again, it's like I don't like to waste money. I'm somebody who really value the dollar. Like I understand the like, you know, when it comes to money and stuff, you can just like go around spending money, especially when you don't have that kind of money like that. If you're like working class, like you definitely don't have that kind of money just to go around spending on like, for example, a Gucci bag for $800. It's like that's not in your budget. And for someone like me, I admit that I am poor. Like I'm not exactly rich enough. Well, at least not yet at the moment. But if I do become rich someday in the future, I would like to do some charity work to help out the communities and stuff. Like I want to help out so many organizations out there, especially children who don't have that many options.
Okay. Yeah, charities are always good and stuff, you know. So what's your next open mic? Like where's the one spot you always go to? People can see you.
Let's see. Tuesday I go to Neck of the Woods.
Oh yeah.
Wednesday.
Is that Danny Dutchy?
Yeah, Danny Dutchy.
Yeah, Danny's pretty funny and stuff. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to spend a lot of time on Neck of the Woods. Yeah, those are good memories and stuff. I should go back. I don't do any open mics. I don't get to the city as much as I used to. But yeah. Yeah, thanks for being on, Coco Perez.
You're welcome.
Did you have a good time? Your first podcast?
Yeah, to be honest, I was very nervous considering I never done podcast before.
Yeah. It's hard. You just gotta. But it's just talking to somebody, you know.
Yeah.
It's easier at other times, and you know.
This is like a learning experience for me. It's like the first time for everything, you know. And so far, I actually like it. I love being on the mic.
Yeah, you seem like a natural. You like to talk. You seem like this would be your type of thing. Like you have a way, like you almost have like a telemarketing way of selling stuff, you know. And that's really the key, is just to be able to sell yourself the right way.
Yeah.
That's what it is out here and stuff. This is Paul, you know, Paul the producer and stuff.
Nice to meet you, Coco.
This is
Thank
our
you.
studio.
Now, how do we keep up with everything that you do again? Like, where's your socials, or how do we keep up with what you're doing comedy-wise?
Alrighty, my social media is CL Lover with a little dash and 12.
What
And
this-
my
what
Facebook
this-
name is Socorro Perez. I use my real name on social media, which is SOCORRO and PERZ. And my advice for the starting up comedians is 1, don't be discouraged. 2, failure is key for success. And 3, let the haters be the haters. You need to go out there and show them who's the fucking boss.
It's like a pep talk. This is a pep talk.
I know this is like a little mini TED Talk, right?
Ah.
So what were you going to say before I cut you off, Chris? You were
What does
talking-
the CL Lover stand for? The CL Lover?
I love anime, that's why. It comes from my
okay.
favorite anime character,
Oh.
from Black Butler.
Gotcha. All right, so what do you got going on next week, Chris?
Next week I got other people. I think I got damn, what the hell is that? I forgot his name. I got the returning guest. He's been on a couple times already.
It's not the stalker Myron.
No, not Myron. Myron was funny. I like Myron.
Oh man, I have a stalker too at one point at 19. Yeah.
So are we gonna get you back on the show with us, Coco?
Oh,
Yeah, for sure. You guys want me back?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right, Chris. Tell them when you're coming back. Because you did a Thursday show on them. When's your regular show?
You can come back on a Monday.
Yeah, for sure. I'll
But
do
when
it.
are you gonna be back? Tell your.
Well, I'm gonna be back this Monday from 1 to 3 p.m. We got more guests, more comedians. Thank you, Coco. This is like the zombie apocalypse of the world. Stay, don't do drugs. Have a good time. And just get on stage as much as you can, you know. Don't be afraid of people.
Yeah.
You know.
Just picture them as your best friend. It helps me a lot.
And we're always looking for your support here at nstudiosonline.com. Please find us where all social media can be had, and we'll see you next week here Monday, 1 to 3 for Junkyard Rat.
Junkyard Rat.
Bye, y'all.